Hey, welcome to Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Kurt Roth. I guess we've been talking about this, Kurt, and you're the founder, director, and also the president of 505SVF.
There you go. Yes, Steve, thanks for having me on today. I'm also the bottle washer and janitor, but it is 505 Sports Venture Foundation is the company, and it's not just me anymore. We've got a whole crew and a staff, and it's a working organization.
Well, I tell you, your foundation is a big curiosity to many fans and to many people is the NIL, and that is what you're doing for the University of New Mexico.
That's correct. We're focusing on University of New Mexico. NIL is just an acronym for name, image, and likeness, which is a collection of ideas and concepts that allow student athletes to actually be paid. As you know, Steve, when you played this idea of amateurism, student athletes couldn't receive any other compensation other than a scholarship. So the world has changed. Enthusiasm to the university that allowed it to be renovated twice, expanded, then shrank, luxury boxes, which we didn't have in our day. On the backs of the student athletes, the university and the state and the city made a lot of money.
And I tell you, your 505 SVF Sports Venture Foundation. I can read. I can read. Talk about the mission of what you're trying to get accomplished.
Okay, we sum up our mission in three words, which is recognition, retention, and recruitment of student athletes. First, the recognition. Who these students are as individuals away from the court, in their life off the playing field. That's the recognition. We do it through social media. Our partner, Sobel Solutions, a local Albuquerque marketing company, they're the best in the state. And our message of recognition is now out throughout the social media. Retention, well, there's the transfer portal. Student athletes don't have to sit out a year. They can seek greener pastures and transfer to another school. So by creating financial opportunities, we hope to retain students who, instead of having them transfer. And then recruitment, obviously, if we have a reputation for being able to support student athletes, it will assist in the recruitment. Now, we can't go directly to the student athletes to recruit, according to the NCAA, so we don't. But if it's known that if you come here for whatever sport and there's a name, image, and likeness opportunity waiting, it would help in recruitment.
And do you do all sports?
Yeah, our goal is to do all sports. Right now, we have contracts with men's, women's basketball. We have football athletes. We have women's, obviously, softball, tennis. Our goal is to have every student athlete at UNM have a name, image, and likeness deal with us.
And how do you need sponsors, or you need people to donate money and kind of walk through that?
That's correct. It's a whole new idea of funding this. The school can't take part in it. UNM can't assist us financially. There are other ways they can assist us, but not financially. So it's up to the public, it's up to the business leaders of the state and the city to help us. Basically, we'll be a marketing company, so local businesses that participate will get advertising through us and the use of the name, image, and likeness of the particular athletes. So we're a marketing company. And we need the assistance of everyone in New Mexico. I've said it before we started, Steve. We don't have Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos coming in to write a check for us. I liken us, the situation in New Mexico, to sort of a Green Bay Packers public ownership. And we know how people root for the Lobos. There's no real major leagues teams here in New Mexico, so the Lobos are our major league team. So if everyone joins in and we do it as a community effort, we can compete with the big schools.
When you talk to a sponsor, what's the dollar amount? Is there a minimum dollar amount? Is there a maximum dollar amount? Or how walk me through that?
Well, there's no minimum. I think online through our donation system, $1, maybe even 99 cents is acceptable. It's really simple. With a sponsor, someone who would want to sponsor an athlete, that would really depend on what level they wanted to be involved, what they wanted to do in relationship to the student athlete. And we have a system internally. We can craft basically a program for anyone who wants to get involved. We'll sit with you individually, ask what you want, what you think, and we'll work with your budget.
Well, I tell you, you're convincing ProView Networks, and we're going to talk about that sponsorship, and you get to use me and give me the sales pitch that why I should do this for UNM.
Okay, well.
And we're going to go to the Everguard top 10 plays of the week and come back and talk with Kurt Roth.
Great.
He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down! Fabian Trujillo, unbelievable, this man. With his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay. No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Kurt Roth, president of 505 SBF. That sounded, I got some info. I did. I'm getting better. I'm coachable. But Kurt, I tell you, who can get NIL money?
Basically, any college athlete in the state of New Mexico under the New Mexico law. For us, we're just focusing presently on the University of New Mexico. So, for example, our men's basketball team. The two walk-ons both receive some NIL compensation.
Well, that's where, I'm very fortunate. Those two walk-ons, one, I've watched them. One at Del Norte, Shane at Del Norte, and Jiraji at El Dorado, and ProView wants to help them with NIL money. So walk me through the procedure. We're going to do, if you were talking to me right now at lunch or whatever, just what would you tell me how to get this?
If I'm talking to you at lunch, I'm going to say, Steve, tell me what you want. I'll write it down. You can write a check at lunch, and we're off, and we'll do whatever you'd like. If you want to go online, you can go to our website. It's 505sports.org, and there's a donate page. And it's very simple. Fill out. You can use a credit card. We're asking people at certain levels to do a recurring donation because we have different levels, and you get stuff from us, content. But you can also direct if you want to specify a sport or a student athlete. That is easy to do. It's easy to do online. Now, as you know, I'm local. I'm here now, 24/7. I will meet anyone. I will go to your business. I will pick you up for lunch. There's many ways to discuss how to donate, but it's easy online.
Well, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, you go to the website. There's my email is on there. It's easy. Call Steve. He knows how to get me. I'm
call
around.
Marty. Marty. You get Marty Watts to call.
If you know Marty seems to be able to find me pretty much 24/7.
And here we go. We got your layer, your clubs right there.
Okay, so what we've done, you can see we have different levels. The Founders Club all the way to the right is for some of our bigger donors. That's a $25,000 annual donation for 3 years. The Catalyst Club, we ask for a $2,500 donation a year, and that builds our foundation, our infrastructure. That's how we pay people. That's how we do the social media. The Lobo Lair is what that gives us is I also have owned the website, the Lobo Lair, the Lair NM, and we are combining that website, that message board, with membership at this level. So that's the basic, for $20 a month or $240 a year, you will get access to the message board that we will continue to operate, and you will get regular content from us, videos, interviews, podcasts. You will also be invited to an event once a month, every other month. We already had one. We had an early practice with the men's basketball team that had about 100 people attend. So that's what we're doing here.
So right now I'm looking at the Catalyst Club, and you know, you can break that into payments. Is that correct? Or is it you don't have to write a check for $2,500? You can break it into
correct monthly payments. I think you can do a reoccurring monthly payment, and you can stop that at any time. We're not, you know, if something changes in your situation and you can't do it, we understand that. But you set up online and you say, I want to give $20 a month, and it'll set the date, and it'll charge your card or take it out of your account, whatever you decide.
And using back to Daraji and Shane, is if ProView on a credit card, because we don't have checks, and you know, our budget's not there on the $25,000 level. But how does that work? How do they receive the money?
Well, the money goes through us, and it depends on how the individual donor would like to set it up. Our NIL contracts, our basic NIL contracts, no matter the amount that's paid to the athlete, are paid generally in quarters throughout the school year, because we do request, this isn't free money. We ask that the student athletes, well, we require that they...
That's a good point. I was going to ask, what is expected of these athletes?
Well, we offer, first, as part of our financial package, we offer marketing classes, and we offer tax help and legal help if you need it. Because some of these kids, I mean, some of the amounts they're taxable. This is income. And it's not like, you have to remember, your Uncle Sam's going to be there at the end of the year if you make a certain amount of money. So we provide that service. What we ask for the student athlete is that they're eligible on their team. They're in good standing with the coach. They're eligible academically. And we ask them to be able to make at least one appearance a month for us, whether it's in public or maybe at their practice facility. We come, we film them, we interview them. So that's basically the obligation. If you follow us on social media, we have many, we take the kids to dinner, we interview them with a local celebrity. We recently we played horse, except we called it Lobo, in the pit with 3 of our players and our moderator, which is on, you can go to our Instagram site and take a look at that. So it's really high quality stuff, and that's what we ask for the students to do.
So what I'm hearing is you take a personal, you get involved personally with all these athletes.
That's why I do this, Steve. I mean, I'm a UNM graduate. I came to UNM 50 years ago last week. UNM gave me a great education at a ridiculously good price. I'm trying to give back, but I have fun with this. I enjoy being around the student athletes. I enjoy trying to help them in whatever way I can, whether it's not more than financially. It's, you know, I'm an old guy. I've learned a lot. I can help these kids with some advice and some direction, and it's fun for me. So that's what.
And it seems like you have passion for it, and you have energy. I mean, it's we understand I understand it's a business, but it's to you, it's like you're giving back, and at the same time you're helping the program.
That's exactly right. For me, UNM's a special place. You know, I walked out of New York and onto campus. I was always a basketball guy. I got here, and it's hard for people to believe this, but the Knicks were the dominant team in pro ball. And when I got here, the Lobos were great, and I just became addicted.
I tell you what, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and talk more about 505 SVF.
Thank you, Steve.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505 897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. We've got Kurt Roth here, 505 SBF, and also the president and founder of this great foundation. And Kurt, we've hit a lot of the bases on this, and the one I really love out of all this is just talking with your passion. And we got to meet. We know each other over the years, and know who each one of us. But I got to golf with you. You made the Hall of Fame in my office. So I just want to let you know that's a big honor. You can tell people that you're on Steve Davis's wall in his office. But what attracted to me was when we were talking on the golf course is what it has done to help UNM basketball.
Well, I think the results for even the casual fan are obvious. And trust me, one of the reasons I got into this, other than my passion for UNM and my time in my life that I could give this attention, is Richard Pitino. I met Richard. I knew his dad because I'd been involved in AAU basketball in New York for 20 years. I knew of Richard. But once I spoke to him, I said, well, here's the guy, he's right for the job. And I don't want to overemphasize our role, because without the coaching staff, without their recruiting, without their identifying players, none of this could happen. But yes, we changed the culture. We retained players this year. We saw last year.
I want to speak on that, because there's a lot of rumors. Back to your mission is to retain players. There's a lot of rumors these guys were going to other places because they got better offers.
I won't get specific, but one of our returning players got a very substantial offer from a school on the West Coast that now will play on the East Coast and all over the country. We were in the ballpark. We didn't have to outbid them. We had to be in the ballpark, and we retained that student. We also, as you see, we were, I believe, NIL opportunities were instrumental in restocking the roster for men's basketball. And seriously, I've watched basketball here for 50 years. this is the deepest roster the UNM Lobos have ever had.
Well, be easy on the old guys. We know Michael Cooper and that team there. I mean, that's a team I played on, but I just, I know that that was a pretty talented team.
They had 7 players who played. Lobos here, 1 through 10, are big-time players. I won't downplay it. Hey, we know it's sports. You got to do it on the field. I'm just telling you what the roster looks like. I'll blame Patino and his crew if they don't put it together. I mean, and
you're putting a little pressure on the coaching staff right now.
I want to put pressure on them. Those guys can take it. It's a great staff at UNM basketball, both men's and women's. And also, we've been involved lately with Danny G and UNM football. We're actually filming a little promotional thing tomorrow. So the staff's here. We have facilities. They may need to be improved, but we have staff, great facilities compared to the Mountain West, relative to the Mountain West. We have great coaches here, and it's a great place to go to school. So having NIL opportunities are just part of the whole package.
I can speak on that, and this is one where the players that are walk-ons are so huge. In my career, when I was being recruited, a guy named Norman Day gave me the best advice ever. Okay, and he basically said, Steve, he says, if you don't play 1 minute and you go to school at UNM for 4 years, you will have the best advertisement, and when your name will come up on any job resume, even if you don't even play. Luckily, my deal is I had one good game in my whole career, and people still remember me for that day. And even right now, people will come up and talk about that game.
Oh, well,
so you can't buy what UNM and the fan base is here.
Especially right here, it's unique. It's a great place to play and you know how many players like you, students, stay here and live here the rest of their lives, and that's all part of what we're trying to create. I have here today's Albuquerque Journal, and my good friend Jeff Grammer wrote a story. It says that UNM athletic budgets finishes in the black, but right underneath, you won't be able to see it here, it says Lobos hoop ticket surge led influx of income, and guess what? That's the part we'll take part of the credit for that, because the roster was there. Last year's team was the last undefeated team in the country. People came back to the pit.
And they're actually coming early before the game. I mean, that was one of the things that we talked about on the golf courses over the last 10 years is people, after Alford had left, you could go to the game and people would come in, right before the game started. And that was like upsetting to me as being a former deal, because when I played, is that the students had to be there, and they ran. That door opened 1 hour before. You were part of it to get those front row seats.
Front row seats. Well, that's another thing. With the help of the Howlraisers, the student section came back to life last year for the first time in years. They actually oversold they had to go into other sections. So the whole atmosphere around UNM, the pit, the city. I've had business people tell me, when the Lobos went to 12-0 that Monday, people walked into their business, they were like dancing on air, and they were ready, they were excited about Albuquerque in New Mexico.
Well, Kurt, hey, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and congratulations on your big sell today, and good luck.
Well, thanks, Steve. I look forward to coming back and giving you a report during the season.
Anytime.
My pleasure.